their off-season program Tuesday, but their lead bird did not attend. Arizona quarterback Kyler Murray is not expected at any of the voluntary workouts this month amid his ongoing contract impasse with the team. Also staying away from workouts, Titans receiver A.J. Brown. The Pro Bowler is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, and he wants a new deal. Brown also recently scrubbed all mention of the Titans from his social media pages. But the Super Bowl champion Rams had a good turnout at the start of their offseason workouts. Quarterback Matthew Stafford says he feels, quote, pretty darn good despite the shortened rest from their Super Bowl run. All-Pro Cooper Kupp also in attendance while working on a new contract with the team. Kupp says he doesn't care if he ends up the highest paid receiver in the NFL. He just wants a deal that's fair to him and to the Rams. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early.
Hey, guys. Okay, so this is called a Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell. Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
We are the Imperial Valley's AM 1230 KXO. El Centro, California. It is a Wednesday, 20th day of April, 2022. In the newsroom, Gene Brister, and a little bit crowded in there. Eli Moreno-Drew, Sam Couchman hanging out there. Sam's got his puppy with him. So, you just kind of elbow closer to the mic, Gene.
So he's got a puppy with him, huh?
Yes.
Well, I didn't see him, and you're saying he's a big dog.
Yeah, okay.
Big dog.
Yes. Are you talking about Sam or the dog?
Well, Sam, I don't know. What should I tell you this morning?
The general.
Go back to sleep. That's.
Okay. Anyway, it's another beautiful day in my neighborhood.
It is a beautiful day. Boy, if you haven't been outside, do yourself a favor and open that front door or that back door and
take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, coming up, we've got a look at some birthdays and a visit with Sam Couchman, as he will let us know.
The mayor of Brawley.
Yes, and he'll let us know what happened at last night's council meeting. So we're going to jump in early, as we typically do. And one of our stories, a Swedish company has plans to build a lithium battery factory in the Imperial Valley. Mm-hmm. Okay, significance of this, instead of, company coming in, putting up 640 acres of solar panels that employs 3 people, 1 to answer the phone, 2 to polish the mirrors, this will mean actual, real jobs right here in the valley. They're looking at, with the build out, with the mining and everything else, maybe 2,500 jobs. That may be a bit optimistic, but, instead of the county settling for, they're going to give us $100,000 a year that we can spend at our discretion, this is going to be jobs. And, that means people are going to be spending money. People are going to be employed. People are going to be buying local, all sorts of good things.
What a concept, huh? Buying
really local. Too often, the county has settled for, I know there's some jobs where they're building this thing, but, then they're going to give us money, and we can spend that money however we want. That, to me, short-sighted. Anyway, as I said, we've got birthdays. We've got our local birthdays. Let's do that, okay?
I'm ready.
Happy birthday, Bill Livesey, Denise Alvarado, Daniel Pacheco, Kyla Lara, Eric Hunt, Silvana Zuida, Miguel Valenzuela, Victor Torres, Corky Johnson, Sam Deal, J.J. Cruz, Corina Ortiz, Danette Herrera, Serena Alvarez, Aaron Sanders, Griselda Juarez, Maria Torres, Pam Beal, Richie Granados, Samantha Martinez, Vivi Mesa, Ricky Reichert, Samantha Morta, Caden Cota, Lorraine Bynum, and Lexi Calderon. Happy birthday from KXO. And right now we're going to jump right into news. World and California news headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning, your year-round comfort specialist.
California headline news. Governor Gavin Newsom visiting Lake Oroville to highlight efforts to advance long-term water resilience and bolster the state's drought response.
It requires to have a different approach than the design of a system that was designed for a world that no longer exists.
Newsom asking the state legislature for an additional $750 million or more for more investments into issues related to the drought. Many feeling relieved, others uneasy after the nation's federal mask-wearing requirements on public transportation were struck down by a judge.
I do feel for people who are immunocompromised or people with children under the age of 5 who now have to fend for themselves and hope that the community still has the same selflessness that they do when there's a peanut allergy on the plane.
Dr. Milad Patel with Stanford Children's Health. The Biden administration waiting on the CDC's recommendation before determining whether to appeal the judge's ruling. Gas prices dip below $5.70 a gallon to $5.69 statewide. Dry conditions in the state today before the moisture returns to the northern region tomorrow. Jeff Scott, California News.
Become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer and get special pricing on cooling and heating tune-ups all year long. Call today to become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock VIPs receive discounted service and maintenance, discounted repairs, and priority service with prompt service. Lock Air Conditioning is your local York dealer, but they repair it all. So when the need arises, don't hesitate to call Lock Air Conditioning at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock, the only name in air conditioning for over 40 years. York, install with confidence. Contractor's license number 696216.
CBS News special report. One person is dead after being shot outside the Peruvian ambassador's residence in Washington, D.C. Someone inside the home called the Secret Service around 8 a.m., reporting a burglary in progress. Metropolitan Police Chief Robert Conti says when they arrived at the home, they found the suspect outside.
This person was holding a metal stake. The officers fired those tasers. They did not take effect. And as these weapons did not take effect, ultimately the officers end up pulling their service weapons, firing shots, and this person is now deceased.
There's no indication the suspect actually got inside the house, but
this individual had smashed out several windows to the backside of this residence.
He says this is rare.
We don't see these types of incidents around here. This is totally out of the ordinary. I can't recall the last time we had this type of incident on the property, on the residence of one of our ambassadors.
No one inside the house was injured. CBS News special report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
And World and California news headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning. For all your air conditioning and sheet metal needs, call your friends in the business at Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal. It's page one of the local news, page one, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers with 3 locations in the Valley at El Centro Motors, now at the Imperial Valley Mall, and at the Brawley Auto Center, Highway 86 and Julia Drive.
Taking a look at the latest in local news for a Wednesday morning, Brawley Mayor Sam Couchman has a report. Here is that report.
And we had a few public appearances. We had our Brawley Fire Department report on the Burn Institute report on the Fill the Boot event, and that was presented by Mike York, our fire chief, and that was on March the 11th. And locally here in Brawley, we raised $3,414, and that's quite a bit of money for a one-day event. And also, but the only thing is El Centro came in first, and we finished second. But that's okay. We did it for a good cause. We had the introduction of new recreation coordinator Larissa Avina, and that was presented by Rachel Fonseca, our Parks and Recreation manager. and she is a Brawley Union High School graduate and also a swimmer. And she will be working at the Lions Center and also helping out in Parks and Recreation as coordinating recreation activities for the city of Brawley. I issued a proclamation, and the council agreed, declaring May 1st through May the 7th as Youth Week, and that was presented on behalf of the Elks here locally in Brawley, the Elks Lodge, and so I'll be presenting that certificate to them at a later date, but we did declare Youth Week as May 1st through May 7th of 2022. We had a consent agenda, and we are establishing an installation of a four-way stop sign at the intersection of D Street and 5th Street here in Brawley, and that's to help with the kids crossing the streets after school in that area, and we've had some problems with that area in the past, and so we're establishing that four-way stop. Approve owner-occupied community development block grant-funded housing program loan application, so we did that for $48,922. Our city manager report was deferred. We had our regular business, which was an update on our City of Brawley declaration of local emergency COVID-19 pandemic by Chief Mike York. I'm pleased to say that in the Valley now we have 1.9 cases per 100,000. Our vaccination status is the highest percentage of any county in primary vac service. And 5 through 11, we're the second place. And we have 95% primary series completed. And in the case of 5 through 11, 68% of those people are vaccinated, at least with the primary vaccination. So we should be pretty pleased with that, I think. And then the second item, discuss the potential action to approve an ordinance. We approved an ordinance regarding scavenging, and that by Jimmy Duran, the chief of police. And that Brawley Municipal Code will prohibit scavenging in trash cans for recyclables or any other types of items, and scavenging in general. And so we're hoping that that will cut down on the litter problem and also ensure that we don't have people digging through the trash cans late at night and creating some problems, and may actually help solve our homeless problem. We did approve a service agreement with Gray Shift to provide the Brawley Police Department with a 12-month software license, and that's one-time funding, and that's to assist them in opening up cell phones in the case of criminal investigation. And so we did approve that. We established a donation acceptance policy presented by Carla Romero, our finance director, and that's to, when we accept donations into the city of money or other type items, then we will have an acceptance policy that we have to go through, and that will formalize that process. We reviewed in potential action to approve agreement consulting services with Finance DTA, and they will be providing our community facility tax administration services for the city of Brawley, and that will be for $29,000. Okay, and that's to look at CFDs that are in the city, and that will be related to collection issues and how we're doing with those. We had an informational report, a building permit, and it's pretty lengthy, and so that was something we've seen a lot of that going on. City council member reports. We did, most of the people kind of deferred that. We were trying to get done with the meeting fairly quickly. We did have an Isabella opening on the plaza, which is a new business there on our plaza, which is great for the downtown area. And we had the mural unveiling, the Welcome to Brawley mural unveiling on Main Street. And we welcome everybody to come take a look at that mural. It's a really great mural. Two businesses were also involved in that mural opening. That was Box Drop Mattress on Main Street and One Drop Cafe on Main Street. And I do request that citizens please frequent those businesses, talk to them, buy their product, whatever you would like. I think it helps with the rejuvenation of downtown. We also had a long closed session related to the Vertical Bridge Development LLC versus City of Brawley lawsuit. And then we had another legal case that we were discussing in closed session. And with that, we adjourned the meeting. It was a very quickly run meeting. We did not have a lot on the agenda, but certainly we're always there and always concerned about Brawley and what's happening in Brawley. So this is Sam Couchman reporting on the meeting and signing off, wishing you a great day and a wonderful week.
Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers are here for you. Lube, oil, and filter change, alignments, brakes, batteries, tune-ups, and so much more. Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers. They service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment. And now, Quick Lane has 3 locations in the Valley. In the Brawley Auto Center, Highway 86 and Julia Drive, at El Centro Motors, and now at the Imperial Valley Mall. Quick Lane, ready to serve.
Continuing with more local news, a lithium gigafactory is planned for Imperial Valley. Here's more on this story.
Lithium gigafactory planned. A subsidiary of a Swedish company has announced that they will build a 54-gigawatt gigafactory in the Imperial Valley. The company, Statevolt, will utilize locally produced lithium and geothermal power at the facility. The company has signed a letter of intent with Controlled Thermal Resources to deliver the sustainable, locally produced lithium and geothermal power from CTRs to be constructed Hell's Kitchen Lithium and Power Development. Once fully operational, the $4 billion facility will be one of the largest in North America, with a battery production capacity of producing batteries for around 650,000 electric vehicles a year at full capacity. According to Statevolt, the factory will help stimulate the development of a new micro industry in the area and deliver up to 2,500 direct jobs for Imperial Valley and the region.
In other local news, the Imperial County Sheriff's Office will host several Coffee with a Cop sessions. On April 22nd, citizens are invited to meet with sheriff's deputies at locations throughout the valley, at the Salton City Cooling Center, at the Nyland Substation Cooling Center, at Hopeville City Hall, and in El Centro at the Starbucks on South 4th Street. All sessions will be from 8:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Public will have the opportunity to ask questions, voice concerns, and, of course, meet the deputies. That concludes this edition of Local News. Page 2 coming up.
Page 1 of the local news, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers with 3 locations to serve you. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment.
In the front, we'll take out that tree, install a new fence.
You're gonna call 811, right?
Isn't that just for excavators?
No, dude. Calling 811 is for excavators, homeowners, contractors, anyone. Natural gas lines and other utilities can be buried anywhere. Call 811 2 working days before any digging project to get all underground lines marked for free.
Thanks, deep-voiced narrator.
You're welcome, dude. Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rocket. Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLS Consumer Access.org. Over 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
It's page 2 of the local news and weather, brought to you by the Town Pump in Westmoreland, open Tuesday through Saturday at 4:30, and by Brownie's Diner in Brawley, open every day, 7 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Continuing with more local news, an update on the COVID-19.
COVID updates. The Imperial County Public Health Department has updated the COVID-19 numbers. The Tuesday morning numbers show that the number of active cases has increased since the update released late last week. There are currently 56 active cases of the virus in the valley. That's up from 34 last Thursday. The number of COVID-19 related deaths remains at 908.
In other local news, 2 moderate earthquakes rocked the Imperial Valley Tuesday afternoon. First was recorded at 1:23 p.m. and measured 3.6 on the Richter scale. The second, sharper quake was a magnitude 3.9 and was recorded by the Southern California Earthquake Data Center at 1:30 p.m. Epicenter for both quakes was about 4 miles south of Brawley. And then 2 more earthquakes reported overnight, a magnitude 3.2 at 8:57 in the evening and a magnitude 3.5 at 10:20 p.m. The epicenter was between Brawley and Imperial. Copper theft in the news this morning, and good news, they caught someone. George,
copper thief arrested. El Centro police have arrested a man stealing copper Monday afternoon. Police were notified shortly after noon that a man was seen cutting a fence behind a building in the 200 block of West Orange Avenue. Another citizen reported that the man was walking in the area of 3rd and Holt Street. Police detained the suspect a short time later and arrested the man. He was booked into Imperial County Jail and charged with the theft.
And that was Eli Moreno-Drew reporting. We'll be back with a look at the weather.
When you're ready for great home-style cooking, there are 2 locations for the best in the Imperial Valley. Brownie's Diner, 990 Main Street in Brawley. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., featuring delicious breakfast and lunch entrees, including menudo, liver and onions, and meatloaf. The Town Pump in Westmoreland is open Tuesday through Saturday at 4:30 p.m., specializing in delicious prime rib, steaks, chicken, salmon, and lobster. So for a great dining experience, visit Brownie's Diner, 990 Main Street in Brawley, and the Town Pump in Westmoreland.
Here's Carroll Buckley with the weather update.
According to the National Weather Service, temperatures will be cooler today and there will be less wind. Another weather system brings windy conditions beginning tomorrow evening. Temperatures will also turn much cooler Friday with highs in the mid-70s to near 80s. The system will have very limited moisture. Light rain chances will be limited to the Imperial Valley and northern Arizona. A warming trend begins over the weekend, and by Tuesday, highs will be in the mid to upper 90s. 95 our high yesterday, 65 the overnight low. Wind gusts at the airport peaked at 39 miles an hour overnight. Today will be sunny with a high near 87. West wind 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Clear tonight with a low around 59. West-northwest wind 10 to 20 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Thursday will be sunny with a high near 89. West wind 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. 67 degrees, 40% relative humidity. Wind out of the west at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Page 2 of the local news and the weather brought to you by Brownie's Diner in Brawley, open every day, and by the Town Pump in Westmoreland, Imperial Valley's fine dining experience.
Golden State Extracts, CBD, is the first fully licensed GMP certified hemp processor in California making CBD. Everything is done right here in the Imperial Valley, from growing to processing and manufacturing. Our products derived from hemp are a natural form of pain relief to help you with your aches and pains, help you sleep better, and lower your stress with our specially formulated tinctures, pain creams, and gummies. Best of all, you can visit Golden State Extracts CBD locally at their Imperial location, 520 West 8th Road. For more information and benefits of CBD, visit them on the web at goldenstateextracts.com or call 760-355-9134. That's 355-9134.
It's sports time, brought to you by Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, an affiliate of the Scripps Health Network, working together to provide you the best care. NBA action last night, the Heat beat the Hawks 115-105. Grizzlies beat up on the Timberwolves 124-96. And the Pelicans dumped the Suns 125-114. That series tied at 1 game each. The Timberwolves Grizzlies 1 game each, and Miami leads their series against the Hawks 2-0. Coming up today, the Nets and the Celtics, the 76ers and the Raptors, and the Bulls and the Bucks.
Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, ready to serve you and your family for all your healthcare needs. Let our team of dedicated physicians guide you on your journey to better health. Pioneers is a recognized leader in healthcare and has more than 10 health centers and clinics throughout the Imperial Valley. When the need arises, don't hesitate to come and see us. We have services and locations in Calexico and Brawley, and of course, our award-winning hospital, Pioneers Memorial. For more information on all of Pioneer's services, visit pmhd.org today.
Well, taking a look at Major League Baseball, it was the Mets over the Giants, 5-4 in 10 innings. And the Tigers topped, the Yankees topped the Tigers 4-2. Cardinals over the Marlins 5-1. And, the Nationals swept a doubleheader from the D-backs. They picked up a 6-1 win in the opener, 1-0 in the nightcap. Red Sox nipped the Blue Jays 2-1. Mets over the Giants 3-1. Brewers beat the Pirates 5-2. Rays nipped the Cubs 6-5. Angels beat the Astros 7-2. Royals edged the Twins 4-3. Rockies over the Phillies 6-5. Athletics, they squeaked by the Orioles 2-1. It was the Mariners 6, the Rangers 2. The Braves dumped the Dodgers 3-1, and the Padres held on as they beat the Reds 6-2. Russian players will not be allowed to compete at Wimbledon this year due to the country's invasion of Ukraine. That, according to multiple reports, a ban on Russian players would prevent world number 2 Daniil Medvedev and number 8 Andrei Rublev from competing in the men's draw. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova is 15th in the women's rankings. Former Los Angeles Lakers executive Jerry West is demanding a retraction and apology for what he called a baseless and malicious assault on his character in the HBO series Winning Time. West lawyers allege that Winning Time falsely and cruelly portrays Mr. West as an out-of-control, intoxicated rageaholic. It bears no resemblance to the real man. That's it for Sports Time, brought to you this morning by Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District. Log on to pmhd.org for more information about Pioneers. Thank you for choosing Imperial Printers Rocket Copy. In today's highly competitive business climate, your company's image is important. The printed materials your company uses conveys a major part of that image. Our graphic designers have the talent and expertise to create a lasting impression for your business. Imperial Printers Rocket Copy offers virtually any type of business solution to meet your needs, from business cards and stationery to computer forms, full-color brochures, and posters. Let our excellent service and attention to detail provide the best impression for you. Locally owned and operated, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy has locations near you at 430 West Main Street and 100 South 11th Street in El Centro and 184 South Plaza in Brawley. Financial news and a brief look at the weather brought to you by Southwest Security, a locally owned company protecting you and your property. They offer 24-hour-a-day post office boxes at Southwest Postal, 4th and Heil in El Centro. Netflix slammed by a new wave of downgrades. Not much to get excited about, according to the experts, besides a much lower stock price. Netflix says they're eyeing an ad-supported tier, and they're targeting password sharing as subscriber totals shrink and the stock plunges. Meanwhile, a Russian billionaire has blasted Putin's, as he says, insane war in Ukraine. Russian billionaire Oleg Tinkov says that 90% of Russians were against the war, and that Kremlin officials were in a state of shock that they'd be no longer able to spend their summers in the Mediterranean. I don't see a single beneficiary from this insane war, wrote Tinkov. who founded Tinkoff Bank in 2006 and controls one of Russia's largest digital banks. Prices at the pump have stopped falling from their recent highs. Some forecasters are warning of another uptick as the summer driving season looms and the war in Ukraine continues. After a slow but steady decline, the national average price for regular gasoline bottomed at $4.07 a gallon last week. Look for it to start moving up again. What's happening on Wall Street? Kind of mixed right now. The Dow up 338 points. The S&P 500 is up 20. And the NASDAQ off 52 points. Meanwhile, gold down $2.80 an ounce. Oil up 91 cents a barrel.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. I've been providing private security locally for more than 20 years and have owned Southwest Security for more than 6.5 years. I'm proud to announce that we have over 250 employees working here in Imperial and Coachella Valley. Last year, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. P.O. Box service to you. Also located at Southwest Security at the corner of 4th and Heil in El Centro. If you're in the need for security services, please call us at Southwest Security at 760-970-4500. That's 970-4500.
We'll have sunny skies today with a high near 87, west wind 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Clear tonight with a low around 59, west-northwest wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting as high as 25 miles an hour. Thursday will be sunny with a high near 89, west wind 5 to 15 miles an hour, with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. 68 degrees. Wind out of the west at 5 to 15. Financial news brought to you by Southwest Security Services.
At Burgers and Beer, we want to make your every visit a great visit. We want you to have great service. We want your taste buds to dance with happiness and your thirst to be quenched. We want you to enjoy great sports and great music. But most of all, we want you to enjoy your friends, your family, your date, your business meal, your party, your mom, your dad, and even Aunt Karen. At Burgers and Beer, we're all about you. 5 locations to serve you: El Centro, Yuma, Temecula, La Quinta, and Rancho Mirage.
The best oldies on the radio. KXO El Centro, the Imperial Valley's local news source.
Is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Secret Service officer shot and killed an intruder at the home of the Peruvian ambassador to the U.S. this morning.
Police say the officers found a man who had used a piece of metal to smash windows at the home. They fired stun guns, which didn't stop the man. They then shot him. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti.
We don't see these types of incidents around here. This is totally out of the ordinary. I can't recall the last time we had this type of incident on the property, on the residence of one of our ambassadors.
Police say they don't know why the man was at the home. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
A Ukrainian official predicts a battered port city could fall into Russian hands within hours. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata has details from Dnipro.
Another ultimatum, another deadline for Ukrainian forces to surrender in Mariupol has just come and gone. Both sides have agreed on a humanitarian corridor to allow civilians to leave, but fighting rages on in cities in the south and the east.
Wimbledon has just announced neither second-ranked Daniil Medvedev nor two-time Aussie champ Victoria Azarenka will be allowed to compete on the grass courts this year because of the war in Ukraine. He's from Russia. She is from Belarus. Winds are kicking up a towering wall of flames near Flagstaff, Arizona. The wildfires have torn through 24 buildings and forced people to evacuate more than 700 homes. Officer John Paxton with the Coconino County Sheriff's Department.
We're talking probably within a 2-hour period, it went from ready to go.
A jury in Columbus, Ohio has acquitted a doctor accused of ordering excessive amounts of powerful painkillers for patients with the intent of ending their lives. William Hussel was charged with 14 counts of murder. He claimed the fentanyl was for comfort care. 2 men accused of pretending to be federal officers are facing new weapons charges after prosecutors laid out more evidence against them. Correspondent Catherine Herridge.
The government alleges the defendants sought to ingratiate themselves with their D.C. neighbors in law enforcement by posing as Homeland Security agents. Prosecutors allege the men had 5 apartments in a luxury building and gifted agents residents electronics and rent-free units, including a penthouse valued at over $40,000 a year.
The impact of all of those student loans snowballing into other aspects of life for Gen Zers and millennials. Bankrate's Greg McBride.
Nearly 60% of U.S. adults that either have student loan debt or previously did so have delayed financial decisions, such as saving for emergencies or saving for retirement as a result of servicing that debt.
The Dow is up 336 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
If you work remote, Staples has you covered.
A mid-mod desk chair to rejuvenate my ho-hum workspace.
Staples has you covered.
A gaming chair for a serious competitor.
A super stylish desk that will save me space and money.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace products and design tips curated by Jasmine Roth and Staples Work From Home Style Squad. Now save up to $100 on select chairs. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 4/30. Limit 2 in-store only.
Rock Stars at Home, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo are one of rock music's most enduring couples. Benatar says the work-life balance just works for them.
We're connected in so many ways, and all of them combined together. Your parents, your lovers, your husband and wife, your grandparents, your musicians, your writers, it's so much.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Prince Harry is talking about his reunion with his grandmother, the Queen. CBS's Vicki Barker says the interview is setting off shockwaves in the UK.
Prince Harry telling NBC's Today Show the Queen was in fine form when he saw her at Windsor Castle last week. Then he lobbed an apparent grenade at targets unknown.
She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, protected and got the right people around her.
Protected? The right people around her?
I think Harry knows how it works. He knows that will raise a few eyebrows in Palace Circle.
Royal analyst Roya Nicka, no comment from the palace. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
An NBA Hall of Famer is demanding a retraction from HBO. Former Lakers player and executive Jerry West says winning time is fiction pretending to be fact.
From now on, we keep our opponents chasing us.
His attorney says the series depicts the 83-year-old as an out-of-control, intoxicated rageaholic. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Carroll Buckley.
Everybody's talking about you.
Carroll Buckley.
You're the talk of the town.